Okay, so our last speaker this evening is Caroline Koviduct, who'll be sharing her perspective as a patient. So Caroline's melanoma journey began in June 2019 when she noticed a raised dark brown mole on the back of her right arm. After several scans and biopsies, was diagnosed with stage 3C melanoma just a few weeks after getting married. Caroline will be joining us to speak about her experiences navigating a diagnosis as well as her treatment journey. So I will just take a moment to welcome Caroline and thank her for joining us. And whenever you're ready, Caroline, please go ahead.
Hi, everybody. So as Abby said, my name's Caroline. I'm just to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm 34 years old today. I am a pharmacist. I work at a hospital here in small town British Columbia. I live here with my husband, who's RCMP, and we have 2 cats and a dog. Hopefully we won't get interrupted, but there may be a cat at some point, so apologies for that. So I guess Abby told you a little bit about my diagnosis. It started in 2019. We had just moved here. It was my husband's first posting with the RCMP. And I'd had a mole on the back of my arm, my right arm, so just basically along here. I'd had it for a couple of months, and being a healthcare professional, I kind of knew a little bit about the ABCDs of moles, and it was always kind of strange to me because it was almost like it wasn't there one day and then suddenly it was there, and it was kind of itchy and would sometimes pain, which I thought was strange for a mole. And it almost had the texture of like a wart. So in just the last presentations that we heard, I think it was a nodular type of mole and it was ulcerated. So I feel very educated now that I know kind of exactly what it was, because I don't think anyone had really fully explained to me at the time what it was. So it was quite rough and it would flake. And as I said, it would kind of itch and pain every once in a while. So I didn't have a family doctor yet. I just went to a walk-in clinic and I said, let's just get this removed. I didn't really think it would be as severe as melanoma. I thought maybe it would be another type of, I don't know, squamous cell cancer or something that you just remove and kind of that's the end of it. But unfortunately, I got a call a few weeks later that it was in fact melanoma. So from there, I went back and had to have some more skin taken away. And then I had some scans done and it actually did spread to just one lymph node in my right armpit. So they ended up taking a larger excision on the arm and taking lymph nodes out from the armpit. So it was a big surgery, but they got everything as far as we know for now. I did end up having to go through treatment after that. So I had 1 dose of immunotherapy first, which I thought was great. It seemed really new and exciting to me in terms of how I looked at traditional chemotherapy as a healthcare professional. But unfortunately, that didn't work out. I had kind of a weird side effect where it attacked my heart. And so I switched to targeted therapy because I did have genetic testing done and I had that BRAF mutation present. So I was kind of lucky in a way to be eligible for an alternative treatment. So I went on targeted treatment for approximately 2 years. I had to work to find a dose that was tolerable for me, but I've actually come to find out from my oncologist that the targeted therapy in my case was probably more effective than having been on the immunotherapy in the beginning. So I'm kind of happy that it worked out that way and I was able to get that treatment. Now I just basically am in monitoring phase. I had a CT scan this week, just yesterday actually. And so every 6 months I have some kind of scan done and it's been all clear for a long time. Haven't been on treatment for a year, so it's a success story. The one thing I will, if there's any patients out there that have to have CT scans done regularly, if you get sick from the CT contrast dye like I do, try and tell them to run it slower. And if they can try an alternative agent, that might be an option for you too. That's my one little piece of advice about CT scans. In terms of messages for you guys, always advocate for yourself If you have a weird mole or you notice a weird mole on a family member, just tell them to go to a doctor and have it looked at. It never hurts to have it looked at. I see a dermatologist now yearly, and he uses the little dermatoscope to look at my skin. It's really not invasive, and it could really save you from a lot of heartache. And if you catch it quick, it's just an easy little take it off, and that's the end, instead of having to go through the whole treatment and that kind of thing. So yeah, if you see a weird mole, have it checked out. That's kind of the number one thing. Bring someone with you to your appointments, even if it's a simple appointment. Unfortunately, COVID was happening when I had all my appointments pretty much, so I couldn't bring anyone with me. And I think having someone there to help you feel supported and strong is really important. Wear sunscreen, and I actually did invest in like a whole UV outfit and a wide brimmed hat, and I live in the shade. I was never a big sun person, but this does run in my family. Other members of my direct family have had melanoma as well. Fortunately, they just had to have like a excision on the skin, and it ended there. It didn't spread to any lymph nodes or anything, but that's another thing. If you do have it, tell your family members, because they may be at risk as well. Otherwise, I really enjoyed the 2 other presentations. I feel like I learned things about my own melanoma that I didn't know. For instance, I think I was T3 in thickness because it was 2 or 3 millimeters, and N1 because I had 1 lymph node affected. So I feel like I've learned something about the journey still. So yeah, I'm happy to be here, answer any questions or...
Well, thank you so much, Caroline. And thank you for taking the time out of your birthday to join us. Happy birthday to you. So thanks